saying is this. I'll tell you that right now. But
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Survivor Now podcast. My name is Ollie, and today I am once again joined by the lovely Matthew. He's back again. How are we, my darling?
Back again. I couldn't stay away. I had so much fun speaking with you and everyone in our live chat last week that I felt like I just had to come back and, finish out the season.
Exactly. I mean, we needed you here. Unfortunately, Sierra can't be with us tonight. She has just had a little family, not emergency, but childcare issue that she now can't be with us tonight. But I've still got Matthew, so it's all good. Obviously, Matthew, I've already asked you how you felt about the season last week. So how do you feel about this episode? We'll go more specific.
I mean, it's more of the same, right? Like I think that last week, I'll start here. Hi, Roy. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. I'll start with this. Last week, I said, hi, Amy. Good to see you. I said that I asked the question, was Steven a threat? And what I really should have said, and I understand why I got the responses that I did, but what I really should have said in that moment was, is Steven a priority to vote out for most people? That was I feel like that was the question I wanted to ask. And this episode, I think we saw that Steven became a priority for certain players to get out. And now we have the fan reaction to if Steven was in fact a priority from our perspective, if he was going to be the winner at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I was rooting for Steven all along, and I'm really sad to see him go. But we will get into all of that. With Steven gone, though, some people think it might be a Savannah march to victory, but we will wait and see. So shall we just get into the episode?
Yeah, let's talk about it. I don't remember it.
Don't worry, I've got some memory on it. But first we have, if I can remember which one to do this one, we have Steven. They've just come back from Tribal, and what I did appreciate was Steven did such like a funny like, oh, I'm so sad, another Hina member. I appreciated that so much, just because he was kind of like taking a jab at like the standard everyone does the exact same thing after Tribal, and I was kind of happy he kind of just like threw a bit of shade at it. But everyone was kind of happy coming back to camp. Everyone had voted in majority, and everyone seemed in good spirits. Did you feel like this was kind of just like everyone kind of like just playing it cool, being like, we've got the war here, but we're just gonna wait a minute?
I mean, there wasn't much to discuss after this vote. It was unanimous. And I think that the people who are probably celebrating the most, in my opinion, are Savannah, Rizzo, and Sophie. The last Sophie remaining. And she even wasted no time being like, can you all just call me Sophie again? Jeff did not get that memo. But I think, having survived as many tribal councils as the three of them have, even still being targeted by everyone, I mean, they have a lot to celebrate. And don't worry, we'll talk about the rats.
We will definitely talk about the rats. I feel like this was really a strange one for me, because it was like kind of both sides, and I'm going to do this in quotations for most of the episodes, both sides really enjoyed, obviously, Sophie being out. Obviously, you have Steven, Sage, and Christina that were like, she's gone against us, we need her out, and we've managed to get her out, and that's great for us, because that's who their target was. And then in the same breath, you've also got Rizzo, Savannah, and Sophie that have gone, Sophie was trying to come for us now, we got her out, this is great. So it's really weird. It is literally these two sides have kind of come together for this vote, and it's like they're both celebrating for similar reasons, but then thinking that it's like hurt the other side.
Well, I think it just goes to show that I believe that this sort of means that Sophie wasn't playing a very strong game out there.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that, I mean, we had seen her struggle throughout the season, and I think for her to be the first kind of unanimous like vote out post merge kind of just shows that, she wasn't as in a stronger spot as she was. But someone that thinks they're in a really grand spot is our dear old Rizzo. Because he is.
I mean, he is.
Yeah, well, let's explain why. Because obviously he has managed to keep his idol. I have thoughts on this conversation because obviously this is where he's explaining that the reason he was going to play his idol was to get Christina to play his idol, to get Christina to play her idol. And then when she played it first, he was like, well, I'm just going to have some fun with it then.
Was that the last vote? That feels so long ago at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was last round.
All right. Yeah, I think that I think that he ultimately decided that he wanted to have that moment. There obviously was no reason other than to further gauge reactions, I guess. But I mean, if his goal ultimately all along was to get Christina to play hers, I think it just became more of a performance for the jury.
Yeah, tricks. Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
this episode.
Pardon?
We see that again this episode.
We do. Yeah, for me, it's kind of one of those. He didn't have a fully realized reason at that point, and I think that's what threw me with it. Because Roy, yeah, I think we both laughed at it. His goal here was to ensure he'd be on 50, and I feel like that's all it is at this point. Because to me, you've seen Christina play her idol. Christina's played her idol. That's what you wanted. You got that without even having to flaunt your idol. So the fact that you're now just doing it for theatrics, and that's the only way you're gonna be able to say it. Like if he gets to the end, to this round and last round, he's not gonna have any strategical merit for playing his idol. It is going to be theatrics.
Are you really that upset that a player is being dramatic?
No, it is purely because and I think also it stems from the fandom. There is a bit of annoyance from the fandom for me. Because the fandom are like, no, this is amazing. This is the best thing we've seen ever. And I'm like, no.
But on the flip side of that, there are people saying that this is the worst season ever, and that Rizzo is and other players are the worst players ever, which we both know that both extremes.
True. Yeah.
It depends on the person, but may not necessarily be true for everyone.
Yeah, precisely. And for me, it's kind of one of those, with this move, I personally did not resonate with it. And that's okay. I'm just one person.
Well, we'll see if this tribal council changes your mind.
Probably not. But obviously, we then get to first of all, I love the fact that they had this shot of everyone in the shelter and it's raining, and Jeff still is saying it's the hottest season ever. And I'm like, we see it later on in the episode. He's like, oh, the heat. And I'm like, no. Just yesterday, it was pouring down with rain. Shut up. But you think at this point, everyone's kind of just going to be sat there, kind of just sharing funny stories, not really having any strategy. But Sophie does take this time to, have a very quiet conversation with Christina and say, I'm worried about Rizzo and Savannah. I can tell that I am playing for third place. Did you get your hopes up when you saw her speaking to Christina like this? Or did you think, oh, we're finally going to see it happen?
Wait, first of all, you said you didn't expect any players to be playing at this stage in the game, that they're just all going to sit around telling stories to each other. No. Yeah. I like this. This is endgame territory right now. And I think too, I mean, I've seen the storyline, and that was sort of to my point last week, where I've seen this storyline where there's someone who's in the majority and they're figuring out that they're player number 3, they're the no vote finalist potentially, and that they need to flip on their allies. Did I think it was going to happen? No, I didn't see it happening. I didn't see it happening because I don't think that the episodes were necessarily building to it. They did try to convince me that was in the air, but I never saw that happening. I think the last chance was to see if Sophie was going to steal Rizzo's idol or not.
Yeah, agreed. And Tashia says it in the chat. David Bloomberg told us the Sophie and Christina clip was a red herring.
Right.
Looking back on it, as soon as it got to the reward, I was like, no, that was very much a red herring. Also, Amy, I have seen your comment. I want to pick that up when we go back to talk about Rizzo because it obviously makes more sense. But yeah, this was the main kind of talking point. For me, it was kind of one of those, oh, maybe. And then in the back of my mind, I was like, let's not get our hope up here. Let's not get our hope up that something is going to change here. Because again, it's endgame. But then also Sophie's got to do what is best for Sophie's game. Which kind of gets us into the challenge, which I loved. I loved this challenge.
Yeah, it was a good challenge.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we have a stereotypical, like, kind of get the beanbag to the top, but I just loved all the obstacleness of it. What did you think about this challenge, and how do you think you would do?
It's great. I think I really appreciated that everyone made it to the end, and it really became anyone's game. That's always exciting, especially for a viewer. I think I would have done okay. I think that those seem taller than I would think they are if I'm actually out there, and I'd be fine. I think I have good hand-eye coordination, so.
So do you think you'd kind of be like Savannah and actually be the one to get it up there, or would you be like Christina throwing it behind?
Actually, I think I'd be like a Steven. I think that I would get so close, and for some reason, I would just miss it.
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't know how I would do it. I mean, I've got a good like throw, so I feel like I'd be able to reach it up there, but then it's just like landing it. I don't know if I'd be able to like. I feel like I'd just constantly be like chucking it too far over, or just like not far enough.
Wait, but you know what I'm happy to see, and Amy pointed it out. There's no puzzle.
No puzzle at all this episode, which was great. Again, not saying puzzles aren't bad, but we had a string of puzzles. Now it's like we need the variety.
You need a break.
Yeah. And yes, Tashia, she won this sandbag on the pole challenge in 46. This time it wasn't as dramatic as when Q
was
won
that
it.
the Applebee's episode? Yeah.
That was Applebee's. Yep. The infamous. I feel like that's the new era infamousy. What's infamous in the new era Applebee's? But obviously with this, Savannah does win. And she decides to take Rizzo and Sophie on the reward with her. Because obviously this is the family letters. We finally get them. Do you think these were the right picks? Or do you think she could have gone another way?
I always think it's good to mix it up. But at this point in the game, it's 3-3. So like, really, what's the harm in doing this? I love when Jeff, I was kind of expecting only one person, or like I was kind of expecting production to kind of force the numbers so that they weren't even. Like either camp would have the majority or the reward would have the majority. And that just didn't seem to happen. I'm glad they didn't. I just want to be clear. I'm glad that they didn't do that. I think that would have been tough. But is what it is. I think that once loved ones comes into play here. Wait, can we talk about their reaction when Jeff said sanctuary? That was the most over the top reaction I think I've seen in the seasons that the sanctuary has been a part of. They used that clip of them reacting as a like commercial clip last week, as a next time on Survivor type of thing. And I was like, that is hilarious. It was just the sanctuary. Anyway, I digress. As I was saying, this is fine. This means nothing.
Yeah. I was going to say, you know my rant on the sanctuary, so we don't need to go on that for a billion time. But I do want to ask you, Roy Jolly says game-winning choices. Do you think this was a game-winning choice for Savannah?
I think that they're going to make it to the end, and therefore, if the edit is telling me so, so be it. Like, it's 3-3. So obviously, she was, I don't know. She was, here's what it was. She was risking making Sophie or Rizzo upset at this stage and having them flip. Like if she didn't pick Sophie, there is a really high chance that Sophie might actually act on
what she's thinking.
Yes.
Yeah. Because there was part of me that thought she maybe could take Sage. I thought if any of the three, she would potentially take Sage as like a building the bridge type thing. in that mind, I do think she probably would have sacrificed Sophie. And I don't know whether that would have been the right choice. So I feel like these were logical picks.
Yeah, but it's too late to build bridges. I'm sorry. Like this is Endgame. They all know who they want to sit with at Final Three. I think it would have. Yeah, I think that this was the absolute correct choice for Savannah. The more that I think about it, and Amy has a great choice too. She didn't pick Sophie. Then this what in the scenes this was what convinced Sophie to. In the episode, this is what convinced Sophie not to turn on them. So it did work out strategically. And the more I think about it, yeah, there was no reason to bring anyone else over.
Yeah, for me, it made the most logical sense. Like, those are the three she wants strong. And again, we keep talking about these sides. Like, it's very clear. Like, why would you then kind of split up the sides? Because unless you are 100% confident the two people that I'm also with here will not turn on me, then fine. But I feel like as it was saying, like later on, it was like a solidifying choice. So well done on that. Obviously, it does mean that they get to go to the sanctuary with the lovely sombreros.
I think I was like cleaning or making dinner and listening to this, and I had no idea that they made them wear sombreros.
The funniest part was like literally Sophie's was just not staying on her head, and it just kept going like this, and it was so funny. The one thing though of the talk before we get to the people, the three that didn't get chosen, the one thing that happened here though is the focus was on Sophie, because Sophie kind of did say, "This has solidified me not going against them. I now know that I can trust them." Da 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 da. And she reveals her knowledge is power. And this is where her power went. Because knowledge is power, it says it in the title. Like, you being the only one to have this knowledge is going to benefit you. Amy in the chat has said, I cringed and rolled my eyes when Soph told them about her knowledge advantage. What did you think, Matthew?
This is where I sort of realized that Sophie was never going to use it against Rizzo, which... sorry. There's two ways of looking at it, obviously. I do think that knowledge is power is best kept. Well, we've never seen it actually succeed, so who knows? You know, like it should always be kept a secret.
He's gone into... That was the Sophie effect. The Sophie effect. You talking about her, and she's gone. I'm waiting for my lamp. I'm waiting for mine to go now. This is the great thing about live streaming. Anything can happen. Whilst Matthew fixes that, chat, let me know as well what you thought about this decision. Yes, Tashia Houston, we have a problem. And yeah, no, Amy, you're right. We can't even blame it on the booze making her say that. Matthew is... Oh, I think Matthew's good to come back on. I'm going to let him come back on, though. I don't know. He's backstage. No, not yet. Matthew can hear this, though, anyway, so I'm going to say my thoughts. With Sophie revealing the knowledge is power, my worry... Well, the thing that I now see... He's back. Is it just made her win equity go down, because this is something she'd been kept so secret. And I think the bad thing was the edit had been making it seem like this was going to be such a strong power move. It was ramping us up for it. So when she finally told them, I was just like, ooh. Just because she then lost her power by revealing the knowledge. So yeah, it was, for me, it was not a thing. Getty is back in the chat saying, we've seen it succeed just with better players in AU Survivor.
Was it actually officially used in AU? Because all I can think about is Parvati, and technically that was a bluff.
No, I want to say it was Laura and Zara. No, it could have been Miles. No, it was something Brains versus Braun. There was definitely it was in Brains versus Braun. It was used for the first time correctly.
Okay, well, I appreciate the call out. So let us know if you remember which season that was and which players were involved. Please let us know. Thank you for letting it. Miles, oh my God.
Well, it was Miles. I was like, it's either these two or Miles. It's one of them two.
Good call. Yeah, AU
Oh,
Survivor.
yes.
It happened. But sorry, I accidentally unplugged my computer with my foot.
That's fine. It happens. Yeah, it was Miles getting Kristen's idol.
Yes.
Well, Kristen's idol used it on Paulie, and then
And then
PD.
PD, yeah.
Yeah. Right, we got there in the end, but yes. Overall, Sophie telling the advantage, I was like, oh. Inu says a very fun. At least Rizzo and Savannah will be happy with her if they're in the jury. It's great jury management, but she's now going to get them on the jury, and I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, it only I didn't really see the use. I think maybe what Sophie was feeling, and you may have said this when I was dealing with my technical difficulties, but like maybe she felt like she didn't want to make them upset at her and figured she would have to disclose this. I disagree. But yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, I think everyone kind of was just like, I mean, Isabel's now joined us in the chat. Here's it knocked the wind out of me. I was so disappointed. I think, and the thing is, I want to say I don't necessarily put all the blame on Sophie. I do feel like the editors really hyped this up because the edit kept bringing us back to the knowledge is power. So it made it seem like this was going to be something important. Unfortunately, I think we know what the importance was. And it was not good for Sophie. But obviously, these three are having a lovely time back at there. You've got these three, Christina, Sage, and Stephen, feeling very sorry for themselves. Sage thinks karma's hit them. And I think this was where we saw the red herring earlier kind of become it. Because Christina very much says, this is probably going to be what takes Sophie away from us. Sophie was thinking this, but now Rizzo and Savannah have done that. I don't think Sophie could be with us anymore. And this is where Stephen reveals his blocker vote. Now, here's the interesting thing. Stephen revealing this, not much backlash from people. Sophie revealing her knowledge of power, a whole lot of backlash. Do we think it should be the same, or do we see reasons why Stephen revealing his blocker vote is more beneficial?
I think there are several reasons why people are more easily able to forgive Stephen. I do think that playing from the bottom is very different. Sophie is in a position where she has way more power than Stephen and way more influence as well. Yeah. She is very much on the side where she can control things if she wanted to. And I think that the decision to give up her lead, using that in quotes, by sharing her advantage was a mistake. Here, I do feel like the timing was incorrect, I would say. I feel like, it was a good opportunity because it's not like the others were there to overhear, but
yeah,
Stephen had to make sure that the two of them don't flip. And part of ensuring that is to say, no, we actually can have the numbers if we do this correctly. Yeah. That being said, this also was potentially a reason to get him out as well, because now this player who's perceived as a threat has an advantage.
Well, this is the thing. They all knew he had an advantage. He just didn't reveal it. He was never revealing what the advantage was.
That's right.
Yeah. I do agree with you. And I think Isabel's also said it. I think the timing was off. I can understand why he maybe needed to, just to, I can't remember who said it. Someone said something about a shred of hope. Amy. I think he did it because they needed a shred of hope to cling on to, which I think is fair. But I think had he told them pre-tribal, then I think it could have been a bit more beneficial, and that will lead on to other things that I've seen. I'm just reading back the comments. Inu says, Stephen's block vote needed Christina and Sage to stay in the game, while the knowledge power reveal has minimal benefit to Sophie. And then Amy also says, you don't reveal something to people you might be using your advantage on or against.
Well said. Both of those comments, very well said, and I agree.
Yeah. I agree. But yeah, I kind of understand it. I think the timing wasn't was off with Stephen, and I think that's what it was. I think the knowledge is power. You can actually, I more so think if she had revealed it later, maybe like at pre-tribal as well, I don't know if I would feel as bad about it. Because regardless, the end result, it would still be sad to see. But either or. But right, what I can't even remember what's next. Next, this is where Sophie revealed her knowledge is power, blah, blah, blah. Then we get the letters from home. Everyone's crying. Rizzo apparently can't read it. Was this emotional? Thoughts, feelings on this one?
I mean, it wasn't really emotional for me, but I hope that I can. It's always nice, and it's always nice to get a little bit more insight into the players. I think that some people, because of just the world that we live in now, might consider this scene to be more cringy, but like at the same time, we're not there. We're watching from our couch, so it's it's fine.
Yeah, I think Roy Jolly said, I really hate watching them read the letters. It's great for them, but not good TV.
I agree, and I do think that they spent a little bit too much time on this segment.
Yes. And I mean, the main thing was, it was Sophie's grandma tried to warn her. I loved that even from the grave, her nan was like, don't you do it. You know what you're doing. And I feel like that was kind of more telling that the main thing for this episode for Sophie is going to be, is this her grand moment or is this her bad moment? And I think we kept getting the signs to it, like her talking about her grandma being like, just if you know, take the idol. Anything else before we move on?
Nope. I just did not believe Sophie would do it. That's all.
I know. Well, let's talk about rats. Because
Roy, Jeff makes a lot of comments on Fire. So yeah, we'll see. Jeff
defended the letters over visits. No. Family visits over letters. Shut up, Jeff. Rats. I'd rather talk about rats than that. Obviously, how would you feel about this?
I live in New York City, so
you're quite common to them. I hate it. I'd be screaming.
I mean, yeah, they're not. I don't like when I would hope one wouldn't like jump on me or anything, but these are rats. These are on the beach. I think they're just, looking for some food. They look kind of cute in the night vision. Got a little.
That.
No, there's a close-up. Yeah, that looks like a guinea pig from here, so that's fine.
I mean, it's also quite blended in nicely. It's like, it's kind of one of those still images, and I'm like, you've got great vision if you can see the rat. I can see the rat's eyes, which is what's creeping me out. But it was the fact that it like charged at Sage, and I was like, if that was me, I literally would have been gagging and like screaming. I'd have been an absolute terror.
I mean, I probably would have too. Let's not kid ourselves. But one is fine for me.
I mean, you have Rizzo's theatrics with the idol. It would be my theatrics with the rat, because I literally got over the top, just dramatic. But it's just because I'm scared.
I'm with Amy. I'm team rats.
The rats were cute and looked small. No, no, it's like spiders. Ooh, no, I'm good. But obviously, they all come back, and there's a little thing of Savannah, which I love. That I just fully locked to this. She obviously, I feel like Savannah really did a good job of like describing the situation. And I think that's why I wanted to include this slide, because obviously she was like, they're definitely going to be mad at me. Like, I understand. She was like, if I could pick all of them, I would. But then she kind of she laid out kind of the strategic reasons why it benefited her so much, and kind of just laid it all out there in the sense of like, look, regardless, they would target me anyway. So it's like, I'm just going to enjoy my meal. Like, regardless of what they're going to do, they're going to be mad at me whatever way I pitch it. So it's like, I'm just going to let them feel their feels. She did a really great job of just letting them have their moment. She wasn't going to be the one to speak. And I feel like that Savannah seemed quiet this episode, but I really felt like it benefited her. because she wasn't just going to, like, she knew when to shut up. And I feel like this is what that confessional was talking about. And we saw it in the scenes there. Do you see what I'm seeing? Or am I just kind of on a...
I mean, yes, but to me, it's like obvious. To me, that's
Yeah.
obvious gameplay 101. Read the room.
Yeah.
And Savannah demonstrated that she can do that. And you know, we've all seen people come back from rewards and be like, oh, there was this and there was that, and we slept and it was lovely and we ate, and we're all clean. And I never know why anyone chooses to do something like that. But yeah, it wasn't necessary. Savannah's a smart person, so like it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. I mean, I think Savannah does sometimes get underestimated in her social game. Like, yes, she can be quite blunt. Yes, she can be very intense, which maybe is a hindrance. But I do think what Savannah has done very well all season is read the room. And I think that's kind of sometimes been overshadowed by her bluntness at times, because she will have that to then gain information, but when she knows to shut up, she absolutely shuts up, and you never see her being the voice in something, and it's kept her safe. So yeah, sorry, just wanted to say that. Tashia has also just said, imagine Savannah on season 50. These old school players have no chance. Well, you never know. We don't know who is on 50. Not like it's been spoiled. Obviously, the only other thing of merit is there was a
to be fair, they said imagine.
Imagine. The only other thing of merit was the quick conversation between Stephen and Rizzo. This duo, this dynamic, I really don't understand, because it's almost like they're kind of acting like they can have a conversation with each other, and basically are just giving each other like a nothing burger, like every time. And it just was really funny to me, because we then get another scene from them, and it just seems like why have we been shown this? Like, what correlation is this?
Perhaps to fill some time. I don't know. I'm with you. These two are very clearly not working together.
Yeah.
And the conversations show that.
Yeah. And it's a weird one, because it's very much like they're giving each other information, but they're not. And it's almost, they're kind of just reaffirming to the other one that it's like they're not with each other. Because we do then see confessionals with Stephen being like, he's just trying to figure out my advantage. You've got Rizzo being like, yeah, we've got our ace up the sleeve, so no matter what Stephen does. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't. Zanz is funny in the chat. They are the kings of the parlay. Parlay. I want to hope I've said that right.
I think I know what that's. Yeah. Okay. Wait. I have to use a dictionary. Hold on.
Maybe I have to Google it. We'll move on though, because we do have the immunity challenge, which we've seen this one time before in US Survivor, as Jeff loved to say it straight away. Oh, sorry, hold on. There's one from Amy quickly just before. I'm going to actually go back to this. I love how convinced Rizzo was that he knew what the advantage was. Steven's face was funny. And I think that's what I find really funny every time. And Zanz, it's like they meet on the drawbridge to negotiate terms before war. Yeah, it's very much that.
Yeah. And to be fair, Ollie, parlay is a sports betting term, so...
Like I was going to know that. Yeah, right over the edge. Anything sports related? Not a clue. But right, let's go back to the challenge. Because Zanz, you could have used the right word and I still wouldn't have known. This challenge, obviously, they have got to hold a ball steady on a plank using their foot for as long as possible. We love to know that the last time this challenge was done was 45, and it was D. I think it was 24 minutes because Jeff could not stop saying it. And obviously, they broke their record of 35 minutes. But this is why I love social media, because the AU fans were quite quick to be like, this is nothing. Because anyone that watched AU Survivor knows that Kate and Logan did this for an hour and 10 minutes,
Yeah.
15 minutes.
Something like that.
Yeah, they did it for over like an hour and 15 minutes. Ended up, hands were up here. Like, they don't know. But what did you think of this challenge?
Well, I love this challenge. It's simple, but it's not easy. And I think that makes for a very well thought out challenge. I think the hearing Jeff bring up the record more than one time, I was like, okay, well that's being broken for US Survivor. Yeah, and I love it. Anything that reminds me of Australia is good in my book.
I was going to say, if we get Australian Survivor flashbacks, we're like, yeah, we see they're learning. Because I think literally they're only in the most recent season started using stuff that we're like, oh, we've seen that on AU. Oh, we've seen that on AU. And I'm like, they're watching as much as they like to be like, oh, yeah, it's its own entity. I'm like, you watch. Which I find hilarious. We did see a really, I don't even know the word to describe it, moment because it was Sage and Savannah that were left. And Sage really wanted it and was trying to cut a deal with Savannah, which I was like, it was such the weirdest exchange for me because I just thought, you've been wanting this girl out any chance you get, and all of a sudden it's, we can do this. Did you, would if you were Savannah, would you have believed anything Sage was saying, or would you have just been like how she was, and it was like, just do your best, girl. Think of whoever you need to think of.
Is that a real question? No. Like sorry. I think with Sage here, I thought it was a very emotional challenge. I think that I respect what she was trying to do here, but I do think that when you are cutting a deal, it's important to have specifics about what exactly your pitch is. And just by saying, I'm going to get both of us through this, I think she did try to say, like, if you get the necklace, it's going to be me. But if I get the necklace, there's no way it's going to be you. Like, I think she maybe tried getting in there. But the fact of the matter is, she's been against Savannah. Savannah has bid against her. There is no reason why Savannah would be like, okay, you have a deal. Yeah.
Yeah, no. It was odd to me. Just like you said, it was like Sage has been wanting Savannah out for ages. The edit has shown that Sage has wanted Savannah out for ages. And then it's weird for me because it's then like, Savannah was kind of encouraging. Savannah was like, think of whoever you need to think of. And then obviously we got the moment where she was thinking about her boyfriend, her partner, her dogs, her family, her nieces and nephews. And it was so weird because we then got this really endearing moment from Sage, which was kind of helped by Savannah's encouragement. It's so weird.
I loved it. I thought that, you know, maybe there was something more. Is nefarious the right word with Savannah's maybe there was something more strategic that Savannah was trying to do here, but to me it came across as very authentic in terms of like, no, let's just keep let's compete. And also I think that she was actually genuinely cheering her on, and I think Savannah felt safe no matter what.
Yeah.
But I think she also had a lot of sympathy. Here.
Yes.
I think she showed that, especially at the end with Sage's reaction to losing.
Yeah, I think because it's weird because everyone was like, oh, she's heartless, like not going up to check on Sage. And it's again, Savannah read the room and knew the last person Sage is going to want to be next to is me. So I'm going to give her space.
That would have felt completely inauthentic if she did that.
Exactly. And it's like, but it annoys me because it's like, in this moment, kind of Savannah is damned if she does, damned if she doesn't. And I think that's what is making me kind of root for her even more. And that's from the fandom. I want to make that very clear. This isn't like anything the players are doing at. It's the fandom being like, oh, well, she should have gone and hugged her. Da, 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 da. But like we said, if she'd gone and hugged her, everyone would have called her fake. And I just going to these comments quickly. Amy says it was probably an attempt for Sage to outwit Savannah.
I think so.
Yep, agreed. And Tashia, Zans, if Savannah wins final tribal against Sage, I hope everyone goes and talks to and comforts Sage to cap the season. Well, you never know. You never know who makes it. And yeah, Gemini, sit right here. I don't like when people can't celebrate their wins. And I think that's very fair. I think it's that balance. Because again, you know for a fact, if Savannah was kind of going to sit there and be like, woo, woo, everyone would have called her or like, what's the word? I can't think of the word. Not disingenuous, but like just not reading the room. And we all know Savannah can. Gay, agreed, was surprisingly nice from Savannah. I don't think it was surprising. I think Savannah is and can be a very nice person, but I think it's all in the edit. I do. But yes, let me just get to the thing. Savannah does win. She wins her 3rd individual immunity. She could win 4 and be in that group of elite women, or she does have a chance to get to 5 and be in a very special club. Question, do you think that's going to happen going into this finale? Or could it happen?
Yeah, it could.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sure, why not? Yes,
Why not?
she's going to get to 5. Why not?
Why not? I mean, it would be iconic. To be fair, if she got to 5 individual immunities, that would, for me, secure her spot on 50. Because she's the only female. Watch it happen. And I said it. But right. We are going to get to the pre-tribal, but we are just going to take a little break, just so some of us can blow our noses. But we're going to hear from Katie Tedesco, and then we will be right back.
Do you have what it takes to outwit, outplay, and outlast? Katie does. Since 2015, she's been handcrafting Survivor treasures for super fans just like you. Hidden immunity idols, she's got them. From one world to the Philippines. Every piece is designed and created by Katie herself. Check this out. Katie's brand new tribe emblem coin, a collectible inspired by Survivor All-Stars, a must-have for any super fan. Keychains, oh yeah. Ride along with Keith's legendary Tuk Tuk or try your luck with the Do or Die twist. What is that, the most famous stick in Survivor history? Yes, that stick. Katie doesn't stop at idols. Oh no, she's even bringing in international flavor with an Australian Survivor cookie idol twist. Idol nullifier, safe or not safe, she's got them too. How about something you can actually wear to tribal? Katie's Survivor earrings are hot right now. Want your idols on the go? How about keychains? Take your tribe with you everywhere. And don't forget Katie's most famous Survivor product, Survivor trading cards. Fans love them, and so do the players. With over 500 cards and full stats on the back, you can collect your favorites from every season, including the full jury from Survivor 48. Katie Tedesco Art is the Survivor super fan shop, made by a fan for the fans since 2015. Check it out now on Etsy.com and follow her on Instagram at Katie Tedesco Art.
I kept it on this just because I did not realize I was going to have so many people in the comments. You have obviously Isabel saying Death has a chance to win 2 immunities. Tashia goes, imagine Savannah wins 5 individual immunity challenges that still loses. Inconceivable. Yes, Zan's 5th. She could. And Getty also says history will forget that this cast was rather weak. True. I mean, this is the thing that I'm just saying it now. Imagine Savannah gets 5 individual immunities. Love it. But should we go to the pre-tribal?
Yes. And real quick, I just want to say Katie Tedesco Art is awesome. She unfortunately, I believe her Redbubble got taken down. So make sure to go check her out on Etsy.
Make sure to go check her out on Etsy. There's some amazing stuff. I keep forgetting about Katie Tedesco, and everyone keeps going to me, what do you want for Christmas?
Oh, you keep forgetting to ask for something. You don't forget about Katie. You forget to ask.
No, I don't forget about Katie. Everyone keeps saying to me, what do we want? What do I want for Christmas? And I keep going, I don't know.
Okay, so everyone, Ollie would like something from Katie Tedesco Art for Christmas.
If anyone of my family or relatives watches this, that is the question. Tashia does also say Brad Culpepper won 5 individual immunity challenges and lost. The compare games. Right, pre-tribal. We have, obviously, this is where, once again, they come to the parlay or whatever it's called. You got these two negotiating, Stephen and Rizzo once again. And this conversation to me was quite weird because it definitely was like, Stephen was just very open. And I think Stephen was very much just like, look, you're going to use your idol, apparently. Savannah has immunity. So, yes, most likely, I'm going to vote for Sophie B. Like, he didn't shy away from it. I don't know how I felt about, like, Rizzo was kind of just like, yeah, your advantage, still trying to like get something like out of it. This again was a very confusing conversation for me. I don't know if you have many thoughts on this conversation.
No, I don't care. I do not care. Sorry, I care greatly about Survivor. I haven't been caring about this season really that much.
That's fine.
And Sans meant parley. I still had to look it up, but that is absolutely the correct term.
It goes like this. Sorry, Sans, parley, no clue. But obviously, we've got Stephen and his side. It's the what is it? The perception is that side are all going to vote for Sophie B. Sage has other ideas. Sage apparently, now that Savannah and Rizzo are technically safe, her next biggest target is Stephen. I remember when she said Stephen's name and I went, sorry, say it, Stephen. What was your reaction to this? Because obviously she then has this conversation with Christina, and we do see Christina trying to kind of be like the voice of reason. We see Christina going, but he's our best shot for Savannah to beat Savannah at challenges, and he's definitely with us. Because we do kind of now finally see Sage's ideal final three, because she explains it. She says her, Christina, and Sophie B. But what did you think of this conversation?
Hey, I asked the question last week and everyone was like, no, he is a threat. He is a threat. And all of a sudden this week, it was like, he's not a threat. He's not a threat. But there are a couple of things here. In a sense, I understand that between Sophie and Steven, Sage thinks that her best chance of winning is up against Sophie. That's fair. And then there's the other side of that, which is to even get to the end, she needs to get there somehow. And perhaps her best path of doing that, perhaps, is with Steven. So what are we going to do here? And I think that it was jarring to hear this plan come up. And I think also, like, knowing, I'm sure Sage considered, like, well, next week we're going into the finale as a minority. So, like, there is that element. But I think that Sage is believing that at Final 5 is when she'll have the best luck at switching over Sophie. And we also forgot to point out something very important, which is that Rizzo convinced everyone that his idol was only good until this tribal count Final 6. But actually, it's good at Final 5. So he has them all convinced that he is going to use his idol for like the 12th week in a row. And then we have Savannah, who is immune. So I do understand Sage's logic here. And at the same time, I lost my train of thought.
I agree with Isabel. I do wish Christina stood her ground a bit more.
Right.
Just because I do feel like Christina was making very good arguments, especially with the, like she says it, Stephen is a threat, but they potentially need him to go against Savannah.
Or was that saying, like, we need Savannah out first?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was kind of that. And for me, I think, again, I will remind everyone, we don't see everything. We don't see the full, like, picture. We get an edited version. So I give Sage and Christina the grace because we don't see everything. So I'm not going to understand anything.
I think we also have to respect the gamble.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. She didn't think that she can win against Steven. I am in the party that I'm nervous that she's not even going to make it to the end from this. But we'll see, right?
No, I agree. Yeah, I think that's, for me, that's where I was a bit like, why did you make this decision? Just because I don't think, if with Steven out, she loses protection. And I think that was my main thing with it. Yes, he's a threat, but he's also protecting you. And it's kind of it was that balance for me. Zan's quickly just in the chat saying, I'm hoping that Sophie B gets credit for flipping Sage and Christina against Steven. It's not what they showed through, though. And where did you take this from? Her obsessive claims on social media. Getty context. Just I'm not sure. Not sure.
You're asking for context?
Yeah.
Okay,
Where did I
okay.
take?
I don't know what
Where
that
did
is.
you take this from? I'm not sure what this is. I'm not gonna lie. But moving on while Getty explains. We then have a Christina and Steven conversation where Christina may slightly slip up.
Oh, she
I
slipped
say
up.
may. Oh, she slips up.
Yeah.
She fully slips, does like a flip and falls over. Because this is where
it's good that he caught it too, because it was a slip up, but I feel like if you weren't fully listening in this moment, you could have possibly missed it. Because I believe the only thing that Christina said was like, oh yeah, keeping, Steven, it's important to have Steven to beat Savannah. And then he connected the dots, which is great.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, why was that a consideration?
Yeah. And I think this is where, because I mean, a lot of people have not thought Christina's winning. I'm kind of under the mentality that Christina is probably not winning. And I do feel like this was kind of where, like, it was Steven of all people that kind of just like laid it out there. This is why Christina's probably not going to win. Where he kind of says in his confessional, she's a sloppy player. And does another lovely analogy where it's like, we're all eating spaghetti with our knives and forks, and she's there like this. It's all going over the place. And I think
analogies were insane.
It was so many. Were you like Alex?
I nearly turned off. We'll get there, but I nearly turned off my television.
Just wait. There will be something on Tribe is posted that you will appreciate. Isabel's saying also, I think she could beat Steven. It's hard, but if Sage can tell her story well, she could, especially if she gets one over on the trio. Inu says, my main flaw to me with voting out Steven was there was no heat for the other big threats. If they could just have at least flushed an idol or split a vote, it would have been an okay move.
An idol flush. I miss idol flushes.
I miss idol flushes as well.
Sorry, I just saw the Geminis.
Yeah. I feel like the last thing Matt wants to do is talk about this season.
Very true, but you know what? I'm here and I am having fun. And
we know that's
yeah.
we need that. And then Gessie also says Sophie crediting herself permanently and Zan's buying it.
Oh, so I guess Sophie took credit for it on social media. And again, to Ollie's point before, we don't know. We weren't there.
We weren't fully there.
Yeah.
But what we do know is Christina's a bit sloppy. And then we have quickly this scene. This is where both sides were kind of going after each other. There was a moment, though, during this scene that absolutely infuriated me. And it was because of double standards. And I think, do you maybe know what I'm referring to?
No.
Rizzo doing that. It was such a small little thing, but I thought, you little...
Oh, I missed that. I was definitely cooking dinner at that time then and just listening.
Yeah. So basically, this scene is both sides going back and forth, being like, we have the upper hand, we have this. Rizzo's going, yeah, Steven's got an advantage, but we're going to snatch that advantage away. And Savannah says something, and Rizzo's reaction is to go like this. And I just thought to myself, I was like, fandom, that's cocky. I was like, that is overconfidence if I've ever seen it. And I just thought, and you're going to say he's goofy, he's playing a great game and all this. I was like, if I saw that, if I was on the other side, if I was Steven, Sage or Christina and I saw that come up, sorry, bless me. If I'd seen that, I'd have been mad.
But did they? They weren't there. So is what it is. I mean, great. Is it something that you or I would necessarily do? No, probably not. I mean, again, it goes back to my point. Are we really upset at players being dramatic and over the top with their stuff on TV?
True. Also,
double standard.
The Rizzo dance is from Fortnite. Very true, it is. But I agree with Isabel's comment here. Rizzo's confidence is such a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Because again, it's great. You want to have that confidence in Survivor. I'm not sitting here being like, you can't be confident. You should be confident in your game. But I do think it's a fact of you can be confident, but you can't have your blinders on. And I think that's my worry with Rizzo.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's very confident, but that's also meaning it's like this.
I'd like to restate, or rephrase. I don't know if you actually genuinely have any concern for Rizzo. I just think you want to see him lose. I think you want to see him fall from grace so dramatically that he falls right out of potentially even being on 50, if he is being considered for that.
Yeah. No, I'm joking. No, sorry, that was my dramatics. Oh, let me and Rose have something in common. No, I think it's the fact, for me, it's like I have kind of clocked his confidence for a while. Like since the start of Merge, I have very much clocked his confidence, and I've also kind of mentioned it like because they've been planting little seeds of it. Like it started with his idol play, and it was other people going, oh, he's being a bit confident there. He's getting a bit too confident. It's coming across quite cocky. And it's been like little things. And I feel like that's what, and it's like, to me, like no one's clocking it. And I'm kind of sat there being like, because I'm just like, really?
Well,
and
they just haven't said it, you know?
Okay,
and to your point, it might come up at Final Tribal.
True.
If he makes it there.
That'd be lovely. Quickly before we move, well, Isabel does think it bites him in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Zan says he brought the confidence all the way back around with that idea for Savannah to keep her extra parchment and his idol. He's been on a roll. Little cocky calling yourself a god. I think that's also where it stemmed from me, like first meeting him. Like obviously I have known of Rizzo since before Survivor because we've been in similar org circles. And he had called himself R-I-Z-G-O-D, Rizgod. And so when it came on the screen, I was like, oh, it's bringing that there. Great. But to my defense, that can also then be authentic because that is what he was like on the outside. But right, let's get off my rant. Stephen uses his blocker vote and he uses it on Savannah. This is the only thing we do before we get to Tribal. Do you think blocking Savannah's vote was the right decision?
This was so funny to me. And the fact that they actually had him say, I officially no longer have an advantage, which I was like, wow, production, tell a player that another player has a knowledge is power without telling them that they have a knowledge is power. Because like to get him to say the words, I officially do not have an advantage, was so funny. I
didn't think about that.
Don't necessarily... sorry. Listen, I never think, for some reason, and I could be wrong here, but using an advantage using like a block vote against a player who has immunity, I don't know. Because to me, and it's kind of like what happened here, like say he used it against Sophie, for instance, then that maybe would have forced Sophie to steal Rizzo's idol, right? And he still goes home, right? Because that's after the votes. But still, that could have changed that whole dynamic. Not that he necessarily, whatever.
Never add that to him.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think it would have made a difference? Does anyone here?
I think it could have. I mean, I do understand the logic, though, of going for Savannah because she is the one that's immune. And I think what he wanted was to them not have an idea of maybe where they're voting. Because I think that's what it
right.
was.
Roy reminded me. I'm sorry that Sophie had to steal before the vote. Thank you. Sorry, Ollie.
No, you're fine. But yeah, I think that's for me what it would have, because regardless, if Rizzo was playing his idol, if they say they blocked Sophie's vote, it would be like, oh, okay, we're voting for Sophie. if they block Rizzo's vote, okay, maybe they are voting for me, or it's a double bluff. With blocking Savannah's vote, it does kind of feel like they're giving nothing away and then making them a bit more paranoid, because it's like, well, they haven't blocked either of our votes, so they're not like they're really giving us nothing. So I think that's what it was, which I can understand.
Why not Rizzo's vote? And like really force him to play the idol.
I think it was more so. I can understand that, and I think that could have been even more chaos. Which, to be fair, Stephen did say he wanted to use this advantage with chaos at the forefront.
Yeah, scare Rizzo. Scare Rizzo into playing the idol. Oh,
yeah. Oh. Okay, right. Well, let's just get to tribal. But before we do get to the tribal, jury looks. I have to say this. I had to bring I know I have not been the biggest fan of Sophie S's game. Sophie's great. I did not know you could serve like this though. Like this look was. I was like Sophie S. I did not know we could slay like this.
She looks incredible.
Looked incredible. She walked out and I went, oh. I said, stunning. Yeah. I just need a moment for like Sophie's look because it was great. The arms, the color. Oh, I mean, yeah, and I actually also agree with this. Sophie, MC, and Jawan, like those are the three right now that have had great.
I want that shirt. I love what Jawan is.
Yes, I saw the texture of it and I was like, oh,
yeah, so cool.
Stan says she became Gia Queen of the Island.
Gaia,
Queen of the Island. No going up. Trust me, I am giving Sophie nothing but praise on this one. Like Sophie S looks good. Well done, Sophie S. But right, tribal. Because there was definitely tension in the air. I don't know if you have any thoughts or feelings about tribal. But it just felt like a lot of tension. I feel like, though, I will say, I feel like only one person had a good tribal. And when I say they had a good tribal, I mean they had a neutral tribal. I don't necessarily know if anyone had a good tribal here. But what are your thoughts on this tribal?
Who said the dumb thing about kneecaps and furniture in the dark?
Steven.
If this season doesn't win an Emmy, it's because of that one line. Actually, there's several reasons why this season will not win an Emmy, but it is that line alone that for the first time, where I was like, the analogies have gone way too far. Like, I know that they've been a thing for a while now. Yeah. I've sort of felt like, oh, they're aware of it and it's kind of cute. To say this so confidently was such an eye roll. And I totally got the jury in this moment. Or I was just like, you think that's going to stick? Anyway, sorry. It actually made me so angry. I'm so sorry.
No, I do get it because I feel like it was because Jeff was very much analogies. And like, I think this is where you see castaways being like, right, what do I need to do to stand out? Oh, always give an analogy. And I think it's just where this is where I do think sometimes Jeffrey, Mr. Jeff, Uncle Jeff, Uncle Jay, whatever we're calling you, he is trying to insert what he wants. And I think just let it be, Jeff. Just let it be. Because now there's been too many analogies and we're all sat there going like, just stop, talk normally.
Well, it's so forced. You can't tell someone, you can't see analogies on Survivor and be like, wow, that was really good. And that described it so well. And then like force, and I agree with you, people into thinking that they need to be equipped. It's like RuPaul's Drag Race entrance lines, right? You know, it's like thinking that they need to show up on the island, and not only with the idea that they want to win, but also with analogies for how the game feels.
Yeah. No, I am kind of on the same degree as you. I'm like, it's getting too much. But yeah, moving on to this tribal because we have the big.
Okay.
I said it earlier. I don't think anyone had a good tribal, and I actually agree with Inu. Everyone was bad except for Savannah. I think everyone had a moment that did not help them.
Yeah, even Jeff.
Yeah.
Othello? Sorry.
I was like, huh? I was like, why are we talking about Othello?
I was on stage. I was like, I don't even know what you were trying to say to me.
Yeah, it was, yeah. But obviously the big moment is this, where Sophie reveals her knowledge is power. You've got the trio smirking, and it's, you can either say, do you have an advantage or do you have an idol? And she asks Stephen, do you have an advantage? Nope. And we see the face crack, and we see as Shaheen said on Survivor Social, the Cheshire Cat smile. This moment was like, I'm going to bring Isabel's comment here. And in this moment, Sophie lost the game. Do you think that is true?
I mean, it wasn't a great moment. Did you piece this together? Oh, sorry, I didn't see that. Okay, nicely done.
Yeah.
It's not great. It really isn't great. It's not a great showing. Does it lose her the game? I don't know. I feel like if like someone from her alliance actually did end up going home, or obviously herself, like then I think we could talk like, oh yeah, they lost. But you know,
yeah,
this was just okay.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Roy in the comments saying maybe not where she lost the game, but where she lost the chance to win. I mean, that's saying she lost. And kind of Isabel. It looked so bad in front of the jury. And I think that's what it is, because, again, the jury see this. And this is the first time the jury even know about this. So to see it not work, it's like, oh. And it's kind of going to be like, well, I tried. And the question is this jury going to be like, do you know what? We like a trier. I don't think so. Inu also says Sophie failed to use the knowledge of power and didn't make any moves against Rizzo. Rizzo unnecessarily burned Sophie by making a shot at not playing the idol. Christina on stage turning on Stephen disappointed the jury. Yeah. Overall, not good things. But yeah, this moment here, I kind of do agree that it's definitely put Sophie on the back foot. And I wonder if this is going to be where it comes to the finale. Sophie kind of goes, well, what I thought was going to make me a move didn't make me a move, didn't benefit my resume. It's hurt my resume. So is she now going to kind of turn around and do something back? Getty, she was. And I did find it hilarious because she had made jabs at Stephen that entire tribal. So I feel like the signs were there that she was going to take Stephen's advantage, because she was making jabs at him the entire time. And I was like, God, don't do it. Take the idol, take the idol. The next thing that happened, obviously, they all go to vote. We find out that Savannah's vote has been blocked. And then we have Mr. Theatrics himself, where he once again is sat there being like, idol. Now,
look at Jeff. Jeff is like, dude.
Yeah. And I was like that as well. I think this has happened one too many times for it to resonate. I wish I had a reaction of the jury, because I do feel like because we all saw the jury's reaction. The jury were like, what's going on? Like, Alex had rolled his eyes for the 5th time. Do you think this is gonna hurt Rizzo's chances? We said knowledge is power. Is that hurt Sophie? Is this now officially hurting Rizzo?
Yeah. I think it's on the verge. It's like on the verge of poor sportsmanship in a way.
Yes.
Like on the verge. You know, because it's Survivor and anything kind of goes. But it's. And to do this right after the last one, too, it's just like there's no logic to it, in my opinion. And I think what he wants here is to be able to have that moment, have that reveal that I think he wants to let the jury in on the fact that he has somehow convinced the remaining players in the game that tonight was the last night, because he brought it up at Tribal Council. But the fact that he held on to it and sort of made a big deal about how it's next Tribal Council that he actually can use it, I think he really wanted to hammer that in, but it just doesn't come across great. And it's like, you really couldn't wait to tell people that at Final Tribal Council.
I think I'm going to make this bold prediction now. I think Rizzo makes it to the end, and I think Rizzo loses because of his idol plays. I think the jury don't respect it. And I think that is going to be the main thing, that when people say, what made you not vote for Rizzo? They'll go, too much dramatics with the idol play. And I will say, I kept forgetting to bring up Amy's comment from earlier. She said, Rizzo's drama and presentations are original. It makes him a new type of character, which is rare after 48 seasons, which I do think is true. But I think that's not going to help him win this game, unfortunately. And I do think this was one too many times that it did not. I think it was one too many.
Where I will agree is I do think he's a compelling character. So, I see Amy's point.
Just looking at the chat, you lot have been popping off. Zan says nobody wants to be remembered as an idol gremlin. Isabel says it's giving nothing. Based on exit press, no one seemed impressed, but everyone has a fear and respect for Savannah.
They fear and respect Savannah.
Sorry, has a fear and respect for Savannah. And Zanz also says he's out there like a Schmeagol holding that idol as his precious. I get the Lord of the Rings reference. And then also Getty says son of Tony. But yeah, obviously Rizzo ends up not playing it. And Steven is the one to go home because Sage and Christina flipped. Quickly before we get to our goodbyes of Steven, what did you think of them flipping?
I mean, I kind of already gave my reaction to it earlier. We'll see if it works, right? It's a gamble, and I think it made for a rather unsatisfying episode of TV, unless you're in the group that is rooting for Savannah, Rizzo, and Sophie. Which honestly, I'm kind of in that group, but still, I was like, this was just the ending of a narrative episode. It was just down anyway.
Yeah, agreed. And Isabel says it right. What I've noticed in New Era is you have to read the jury right. But our fallen comrade, Steven. Matthew, any final words for Steven?
Yeah, I really liked him. I did like Steven. And I think that it's unfortunate that he was perceived to be unbeatable at the end by certain players. But he went out in a blindside. Yeah. And that's always a compliment. And it wasn't like I think it wasn't like a bummer of a tribal council, because he still had that great moment of being able to avoid getting his advantage stolen. So
yeah,
here we go.
He did get one last laugh. But yeah, like Steven was my last remaining draft member. And Steven did me proud. I've really enjoyed Steven this season. I think he's been a really compelling character. I know that some people have been like, oh, he's a bit meh, he's a bit boring. But I actually think like he gave us something different. And I do feel like with this cast, I feel like we could see Steven back again. I feel like Steven would be a great kind of second chances player because he had a lot of potential. So I would love to see Steven again, and I do think Steven should hold his head up high because I think he did a great job this season. And the fact that he went out being a threat, like, what more can you ask for? Like, I take it as a compliment.
Seriously, that analogy, he should have been booted right there. Right there.
No, absolutely not.
No, and I liked his cardigan.
Yes. Loved that cardigan. Just quickly in the chat, Isabel, Stephen, you kind king. Zans, now get back to the lab, Stephen. We want to go to space. Amy, I'd love to see Stephen back in a Brains versus Brawn season.
If only they would bring back themes.
And then Zans says that Stephen can host Survivor in space.
Ooh.
And also, Isabel says, I wish him and MC got to play together more.
Same.
That could have been a great duo.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love
But
them.
we will see more of Stephen in a second because it's time for a lovely little segment that we call
Yeah.
Live is posted. So if any of you are new, first of all, welcome. Please remember to like and subscribe. But what the tribe has posted is, after the episode, I scour social media. I go look at Instagram, X, TikTok, Blue Sky, everything to see what's been going on with the contestants. Why? Because I'm nosy. And I just like to know what's going on. So you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay, so first off, it's a bunch of Instagram stories and reels of people just celebrating being in the final five. So you have Savannah having a little story, kind of talking about the fact she's made it to the finale. Same again with Christina. Side note, Christina has not told her partner anything. So, like, her partner has no idea how she's done, where she's come, what's like. Apparently, this episode, she asked everyone to dress up in black and like fool them in thinking like she's getting sick. And she made the I was like, do you know what? I heard this and I was like, Christina, that's so devilish. I love it. And then in the middle is Sophie B going into the finale. A girl doesn't forget, which I thought was very telling. I was like, what doesn't she forget? Because this was the look she gave. Huh?
Steven's out of the game. So if it was about,
well, I don't know, because the screenshot is when I think Rizzo didn't use the idol on her.
Oh, too bad she doesn't have an advantage.
Too bad she doesn't have an idol that she could have stolen. But moving on, a couple of tweets. Sophie saying, sorry for the blue balls, love your silent assassin. And then Rizzo saying, I should have flown straight to Vegas because I went all in every week. Then another tweet from Alex.
Oh my gosh.
I knew as soon as you kept talking about the analogies, I was like, you're going to love this tweet from Alex. Me, whenever I hear an analogy now, and it's the mood.
Alex, thank you for that. I come back to the show. you get voted back in.
I was going to say, I feel like that's how if you and Alex ever meet, that's how you'll bond.
Yeah, I think we'd really get along.
You'll just look at each other and go, analogies. Okay, so moving on, we've got a couple from Savannah here. The first one is a Instagram post, which says, winning, reward and immunity, establishing a dominant alliance, hearing from my family and heading to the finale. Am I that girl? And then also this picture of poverty has just become a meme in itself now. Is that one rigged too? Like every time she wins an immunity. But I don't know if you were here when Savannah and Stephen both won. When they both won, Savannah did this. There was a post that Savannah did, this meme. Stephen did the exact same caption and post, and then posted it on his story as well, and it was hilarious. So yeah, this crying meme has become a meme. It's become a 49 meme. Moving on, we've got a couple now. The one at the side is Christina reminding us that she is the last Hina member, and I think she even puts it there. Who would have thought that she was the last Hina member? Well done. And then this one, I kind of talked about it last week, being like, I don't want to get cancelled or something, but Savannah said it, so I can talk on it. Honestly, Fishback, I'm low-key just out here trying to justify my game because it's been 13 episodes. She has not yet earned a fishy from Stephen Fishback on RHAP. And I am kind of sat there going, what has Savannah got to do? Because I think I think he gave it to Sage this round. And I was very much sat there and I was like, Sage of all people. I was like, look, I'm not dogging Sage. I love Sage. But I was also like, why have we given it to Sage? And I just wanted to put this on here for my own validation.
I think that's ridiculous. What's a fishy?
I don't know. It's just they do an R.
That's what I was trying to be like. I don't know what that is, but if she wants it,
no. What it is, they have like Stephen Fishback has always done it on RHAP. The best way I can describe it in our terms is kind of like social butterfly, but it's not social butterfly.
okay.
Yeah, it's kind of almost like who Stephen's player of this episode is.
Listen,
Like
if you're watching, you're playing a great game. Don't let a fishy get in the way of that.
I was gonna say, like, trust and believe. He doesn't know you're a queen.
I'm sorry, Roy. I don't know.
We'll ask Stephen Fishback. And then a couple now from the jury. You have Juwan talking about, obviously, he was just kind of revealing how he got over Survivor and how therapy helped him. You have a reel from MC about the Whisper at Tribal Council. So she kind of talks about what she did, so go give that a read. And then the other one was Sophie S, just talking about just her side, like her facials and the jury. It was so funny. She was so expressive on the jury, and it was great. Also, Zanza said, the fishy is a very prestigious and notable achievement. Some players commit incredible feats to achieve this.
Thank you for calling us in, Zans. I appreciate that.
Thank you. And then a couple from Stephen. I accidentally forgot to post another one. But it was the middle one is Stephen being voted out, and it's actually saying, can't wait to see my awesome jury fits. Stephen had good looks this season, so I can't wait to see what his jury looks are. And then for some bizarre reason, he got like a giant probes cut out, and that's been following him around the house. I think that was the other post.
Tag would have that same exact one.
Yeah. Apparently that just goes everywhere. And then the final one is a bit of just a reminder to people to stop being annoying. Sophie B, my faceless, me to faceless people in DMs, because apparently people are giving her hate. And then the other two are Christina. The story is there is a lot of hate being sent my way tonight, and this just put the biggest smile on my face, remembering why I went out there in the first place. And the middle one is actually, she is addressing the Uncle Jay talks, because for some bizarre reason, people have gotten so annoyed with Uncle Jay, and I'm kind of sat there going, why?
Well, let's to be honest, I am annoyed at the Uncle Jay thing. I'm someone who is annoyed by that, but I don't care that someone is saying it.
Yeah,
you know, like I just wouldn't, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the reason that it just kind of gets on my nerves is just because there's like there's a familiarity there, right? And I know they're all familiar with Jeff, but I mean, like in older seasons, and like there's like a separation between host and player, and I think that the nicknames sort of like blur the lines a little bit, and like even it's not just like Uncle. Even I guess when I
can give you two examples.
Okay.
I call well, it's like Courtney, and I sometimes call him Jeffrey, and then it's like Jonathan from 42 constantly always said Mr. Jeff.
Yeah. I think Mr. Jeff is a good thing for that. I think it's the familiarity thing, and I think that what this really is a couple of different things, but I think it's also I don't know, but stop going after Christina. I think that's the only thing. Like, it doesn't. She's having fun. She's out there. It's whatever. It's not that serious.
I agree, and it's for me. It's like, call it, like, in my opinion, call him whatever the hell you want. Like, I literally refer to him so many times as Jeffrey because of Courtney. And I do think it's the mentality. If you're annoyed with her and Juwan saying Uncle Jay, and you're not annoyed with Jonathan saying Mr. Jeff, I'm like, there is a double standard. So I'm like, fans that just want to pick their fights, stop it or go away.
It's a comparison.
Yeah, it is. But right, let's move on to something a bit more fun. The polls. So for those of you that don't know, I post polls on X at Survivor Now Pod. So go check them out because you have your chance to have your say. And I'm also going to apologize now, Matthew. All of the question ones are in black and then all the answers are in white. So sorry. I don't know if you're not going to like that.
Oh, I don't care.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you, though.
I was fully sat here being like, it's not consistent. But no, first question was, did Savannah make the right picks for this episode's reward? Yes, no, maybe, and then Sanctuary.
I'm Sanctuary on. No, I think if I'm answering seriously, yeah, she made the best choices.
Well, I can confirm 77%, yes. And then the 8% Sanctuary. I love that someone actually did vote for that, so I was very happy. And the next question was, is sticking with Savannah and Rizzo ultimately the best move for Sophie? Yes, smart move. No, bad move. Maybe we will see.
It'll get her to the end, but I just don't see her getting there and winning from doing that alone. So I'll say no, bad move.
Okay. Well, 87% agreed with you. No, they do think it's a bad move as well. Only 13% said yes, smart move. And Roy in the chat going, she has no moves left.
No, I think it's hard to be in the middle position because sometimes you flip and people get mad at you for flipping, or you end up being the next person voted out because you flipped, and then you're seen as I think Sophie. Sophie.
Sophie S.
Thank you. Sophie S. Right? Like she flipped, and that made Sage upset, and then she got voted out. So I get it, and at the same time, it's just a little playing it safe.
Yeah, agreed. And the final poll was, which move at Tribal Council had the most impact / was most beneficial for their game / resume? I know it's a lot of words. I couldn't figure out what I was trying to say.
Oh, this is a leading question. I know which one you would vote for.
Which one would I vote for?
You would vote for Savannah staying quiet.
Yes. But yeah, it's Sophie's knowledge is power play, Rizzo not playing his idol, Sage and Christina voting for Steven, and Savannah staying quiet. Which one would you go for?
Well, I think you gave me no choice but to do Savannah staying quiet because Sophie's knowledge is power play. Didn't work. Wasn't great in front of the jury. Rizzo not playing the idol. Not great in front of the jury. Sage and Christina vote Steven out. Potentially is okay and good, but it's a gamble. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the only thing that is for sure the most impactful here and beneficial to their game is Savannah staying quiet.
Well, 55% didn't agree with you because apparently Rizzo not playing his idol was the majority vote, which I really don't agree with.
Okay.
Which is why I sit there and I go.
To be fair, I think I want to give flowers where flowers are due. The fact that he was able to convince everyone that Final Six is when it was the last time for him to play it. And now he has basically made it to Final Four.
Yeah, that part. That strategic part I can get.
Yeah.
I think it's the balance. It was great strategically. Socially, though, was it the best?
For some reason, when I read this, in my mind, this was everything leading up to him not playing his idol, which was the show.
Yeah, we know he loves the show. But those are the polls. Just remember, go check out X on Thursdays. I will post them all there. And then you get to have your say and then see what finale ones we have. But that was The Tribe Has Posted. And that is us done. Matthew, thank you so much once again for joining. It's always a pleasure to have you back. I can't wait to have you fully back for 50.
I'm happy to be back. This has been great. And I want to see Phil next week too. So I'm hoping that we have a full house next week as well.
We should do. I can confirm Phil was at his sister's graduation and he will definitely be here next week. I mean, he has just said it, but yes, we will see Matthew.
You'll see me. Yep.
Good. And we may have a guest as well. So there may be 4 of us all having a natter, which is great. But thank you once again for tuning in to Got Something For You. Obviously, next week is the finale of Survivor 49. Matthew, I'm going to do a prediction.
Oh wait, I
I'm
might not be here next week because I'm sorry because it's Sunday. I have plan. I'm sorry.
Oh, rude. Well,
Saturday. Okay.
let's do a prediction then, because you're not going to be here. Let's see what your prediction
I'm
is.
sorry.
Who do you predict is winning Survivor 49?
I believe that Savannah is winning Survivor 49.
Nice. I mean, I am kind of in that camp as well. I do feel like right now it is Savannah's game to lose. So I would love to see what happens there. But yeah, like I said, obviously next week is the finale. We have got all of our shows coming up, so make sure to join our pre-show and our after show on Wednesday. I do believe we will be having an after show. We will confirm. And then Survivor Social will be on Thursday. Stockwatch will be on Friday with Troyzan. He will be joining the boys for the finale. And then it will be myself and Phil back here on Sunday with hopefully another guest. They have confirmed, but I just want to double check. Matthew, you will be at the Brighton When event, won't you?
I will be at the Bryce and One event. So if you are also going, I know sometimes I run into a few of our viewers. Please say hello. I always love it.
Please do. I know that I think Kara's going to be there as well, but there will be a few people going to that. So make sure if you are going to go say hi to them. But that is it for us. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We do really appreciate it all. And we will see you next week for the finale of Survivor 49. We will see you then.